tell. So today what we are going to do is we are going to go over where the heck your website is, what it does, and how you can modify it. So our first step is I'm actually going to get into the website, which you see up here, and log into it as a consumer. I want to show you what the differences are. And I think it's important that you as agents also play around and experiment with it. So like I tell everybody, you should have in your command, you should have yourself listed as a contact, as a client. So always put yourself in as a contact and use like your generic Gmail. So pretend that you're a customer. And we're going to do the same thing when we actually log into the website as well. So this is the basic overview of the website. Everybody has a subdomain with Keller Williams, and I'm going to show you where that is as well. And I always suggest that you should have your own domain. And the easiest way is to go to GoDaddy and get a domain name. Okay. Just get the domain name. You don't need any of the extra stuff they try to sell you, the privacy, the emails, and things like that. And the reason is as Keller Williams changes its system, on the back end here, this .kw.com can change, and it has over the years. We have many agents that were using the old eEdge websites, which ended with, I think it was .kwrealty.com. Well, now that's not in existence anymore. Okay. So if you had that old website on your social media, on your business cards, on everything, giving it out to your clients, now it all has to be redone. So I actually own, and I'll get back into it, I actually own Search for Houses. If I could spell. Search4houses.com and search4houses.net. You don't have to own both of them, but get yourself your own domain that will stay with you for the rest of your life. And what happens is I've got it set up to forward to the Keller Williams site. Okay. One thing to know that if your site is hooked up properly, if it's not, it'll show a generic Keller Williams site. If it is, you can scroll down and see your information in the bottom right-hand corner. That's when you know your site is working properly, okay? So now, as far as the normal people that are out there that are not consumers or anything like that, they can search just like you can on any other site that's out there. And if you notice, this site looks very similar to the Z Word. Zillow site with that center address bar looks very similar to Trulia site. Oops, here we go. With that address bar, and there's a reason for that. The reason is that Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, and all of those companies already spent the money figuring out this is what the consumers like to see. Simple, to the point, okay? It's what you decide to put into the site is what makes it matter. Now, a few things that you can see in here. You've got a background. You can actually put featured listings on your site. It's got information to get in touch with you. Your Facebooks, LinkedIn, Twitters, all your social media links and information about you as well. And like I said, it's fully functional without having people to sign in. So if I was going to look for a property, I could either do a current location, I could put in a zip code. It's got a satellite map. It's got a regular map. You can zoom in, zoom out, very similar to all the other sites out there. One thing that's really cool about our site that they're starting to put in there is you can actually search by landmarks, which is really cool. So if I put in, let's see, Jimmy John's, I think that's how you spell Jimmy John's, right? There's Jimmy John's Field. So I can actually put that stuff in there, which is kind of important because there's a lot of things that we can do with that. Now, when I'm looking for houses on the actual site, I have the ability to save them, find out information on them, things like that. But in order to do that, I have to be logged in as a customer or client. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. I want you to notice the difference here. Right up here, we've got my teammate named the Laffordable Team with drop downs, and I'm going to show you those, a login and a sign up button. Your website is directly connected to your mobile app. So if I am logged in on one, I can log in on the other, and everything that I've saved, all the houses that I've done, those are all right there. Okay. It's all connected, which is really, really cool. Okay. Show you a couple other things that I've done before I log in here. A lot of the default stuff that you have is like contact us, you know, just to get information from the people about me, your bio. Okay. And then you have the ability to actually add pages as well, depending on how you want to do business. Vicki, are you adding twice? Are you joining twice? Oh, something there. Okay, there we go. We got everybody. A couple of things that I've added to it, and believe me, it's nowhere near to be done. I've got useful information, a page that I created, which happens to have all of our contractors and an automatic blog that's given free from HomeKeeper that you can use. Another thing is Keller Mortgage and Keller Covered. So I've got a link to a page on how to save money with the 0 Down Plus loan. And all of this is linked back to you. Latest market data. I'm working on this. The idea is to have everything so it's automated so I don't have to go back in here and do things. So here's statistics. These are updated automatically. This month in real estate video.
Welcome to This Month in Real Estate for December 2020.
Download my app. You get the idea. So you can pretty much put the different type of pages that you want in here, okay? Meet the team, my links for my social media and things like that. So let's go back, and I'm going to go ahead and log in as a consumer. And now once I'm logged in, you're going to see some things changed up at the top. There's a feed, which kind of shows you what the consumer's done and what you're doing currently. There's a guide, which is one thing that we're going to go over. Where are they in the process, which is totally editable by for you, which is also connected to the app as well. So they can kind of see as things are going on. Saved, any of their saved searches, any of their collections, hot new listings that you put up there for them. So like I said, you really have to play with this and learn about it. So what I want to show you is we're going to actually do a search here, and let me get into, let's go into Mount Clemens. And what it does is it obviously pulls up the entire area of Mount Clemens for what I'm looking for as a consumer. Remember, I'm a consumer, I'm a client at this point. So now we can do some editing as far as what I'm looking for as far as a house goes. So for sale, you've got active, pending, and this is real important because when you're doing your buyer's consultation, you want to almost sit down with them either on Zoom or this to set this up. Coming soons will show up as well. New construction, foreclosures, if there's any REO properties out there, and if there's any short sales that are out there. You can do a price range. So I'm going to do a price range just to lower the search a little bit. So I'm going to say I want to go to like 140. Property type, I want just houses. Bedrooms and bathrooms, I would like to have at least 3 bathrooms, or 3 bedrooms, I'm sorry. and more. You can get into square footage, year built, open houses, things like that. So there's quite a bit that you can do with this actual search. But now I'm looking at Mount Clemens, and I'm really familiar with Mount Clemens as a consumer, and maybe there's areas that I don't necessarily want to move into. I want to be within a specific area. A lot of the searches that you have available, you can draw a circle, you can kind of draw a, this point to this point to this point to this point to this point. And with ours, you actually can draw based on what these streets are. So essentially, if I said I wanted to live over in this area, we've got some curvy streets, which makes it a little bit hard to do it with straight lines. So if I click on the draw button and I say, you know what, I want to be on this side here. I'm terrible at drawing, by the way, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. And I kind of really like it over here too. And definitely like it over here. And I want to be on this side of here. I don't want to be over by the jail necessarily. So I'm going to stay on this side of Groesbeck and come across to here. And now all the properties that I have show up there. Okay. Now notice I've got one of them that's hearted. So I have the ability to go through and actually save the properties on any collection that I want to have. So I could label this a new collection and call this West of Gratiot Mount Clemens properties. Maybe I'm looking in several areas just so I know what's going on. So I'm just going to put this here. And now I've saved 2 of the properties. Now understand, as I'm interacting as a client, this is showing up on your command under the client's contact card. So you can see what they're saving. You'll start getting emails on what they're doing. You'll get notifications on your Kelly saying, hey, Al just logged into their site and they saved some things. So you can keep track of everything that's going on. So I'm going to take a look at this property on Hubbard that I saved. And I want to show you a couple of cool features that are out there when the consumer actually looks at these, or our customers. So obviously it gives you the information on the top, the property description, its status, whether it's a new property, it's been reduced in price, things like that. You can save it, ask your agent about it. They can request that they schedule a video tour, which is kind of cool. What's the availability? They'll give you some different times that they want to look at it, either in person or a live video. If they wanted to do a video tour, which I still think we're going to have, folks, what's their preferred platform? How do they want to do that? Okay. Keller Mortgage, there's a link there to show them that they can save thousands with Keller Mortgage, and they can compare quotes to Keller Covered, which is the homeowner's insurance. If you have a particular lender that you're dealing with, you can actually turn this off so it does not show up on your website. I want you to be aware of that. Currently, you cannot add a lender to this spot, but I do believe that's going to be coming in the near future. Now, the cool thing with the Keller Mortgage is if you look the property up, at least when you used to, if you look this property up on your app and you have the Keller Mortgage turned on, it will actually give you an estimate as to how much money this person can save going through Keller Mortgage. Okay. So the property details, nearby schools, any upcoming open houses, mortgage payment based on that. But the really cool feature that I wanted to show you was commute times. So maybe you've got somebody that needs to know, hey, how long is it? I'm looking in a bunch of different areas. What's my drive to work? So let's do this. We're going to search for a place. I think you can do up to 3. So I'm going to put the office in here. Whoops. All right. So for this property, it's 14 minutes. Okay. I do a lot of traveling, so let me put the airport in here as well. All right, it's going to take me 41 minutes to get to the airport. Now, this is saved in here forever. So if I go back to my saved search, and I look at another property, and I scroll down, there's the driving distance from that property as well. If I'm looking at any property on here because I've saved that, so I want to look, maybe I want to look in Romeo. All right. What's my drive from this property? And there you go. It updates it automatically. So it's a really cool feature for your clients to be able to see this, okay? With their guide, they have the ability to see how far along they are in the process. So once you set your guide up, which we're going to show you how to do today, it's another way of communicating with them to say, awesome, the appraisal's in, we're good to go. Okay, what's our next step? Start doing your homeowner's insurance. What's the next step? Have you thought about a home warranty? All of this is totally editable based on how you use everything. And either you can mark it as completed or they can mark it as completed. So my appraisal came in, that's marked. Remember, this corresponds with your app as well. There's a buying guide. There is also a selling guide that's available, okay? So like I said, you really have to play around with the website, kind of see what's available and learn it yourself so that you can go ahead and pass that on to your consumers. The easiest way, and I think the best way to do it, is once you've got a flow, create a quickie, easy 2-minute video on, hey guys, just wanted to show you the website and give you some reminders on how you save properties and how you do different things like that, okay? And then that way you can send that right to them. People love video. Now, under my account as a consumer, I've got history. What have I viewed recently? Oh, what was that one house that I looked at? Darn it, I can't remember. How many times do we have clients that are like, there was one that I seen. Where was it? And they're on their phone. Let me look for it. And they're scrolling and they're scrolling. Well, here's your recently seen. Their account, obviously, if they need to change their password or any other information, okay? Notifications. So I created, as a consumer, this saved search. Mount Clemens, west of Gratiot. So anytime a new property shows up, when do I want to be notified as a consumer? Never, instant, daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. This is very similar to your MLS search. It will notify them when in that area something comes up for sale, okay? Places. Here were the 2 places that I saved. I can delete them out of here if I wanted. Okay, I no longer need to know how far Metro is, or I can add additional places. Now, another cool feature is co-buyer. So if you've got a couple that is married or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, they can add each other as a co-buyer. So what I save as the husband, the wife actually sees on her side as well. It's all collaboration. So everything is together on that, okay? So I thought that was important to really show you guys the features of this so that you understand what you can do with that. And now at this point, what we're going to do is actually get into the website, show you where to set everything up, and show you the guides and all that other good stuff. So let's get out of this. Any questions so far? Comments? Concerns? Hellos? All right, I got away from Cheryl. That's good enough. All right. All right. So the website, to get into your website from command, I always start from the home page. And I always like to point out a little trick with the home page that a lot of people don't know is there. Regardless of we're doing a website class or not, you can customize how this page looks based on what you want to see on your front home page just by clicking the customize home button. So these are the different applets that are available to be on the main page, and you can move them around and drag them however you want it to look. I want my tasks on top. Maybe you don't. Maybe you want your leads on top. You can do that. Second thing is if you don't know what these applets are on the left, you can either hover over them or you can click on the KW and it opens it up for you. Okay, it's another trick there as I sip my coffee. Okay, what we're going to do is get into the web page, which is all under consumer. So the very last one is consumer. That gets you into the settings for your web page. Now you've got several things that are along the top and the sides, and I want to show you everything because a lot of people think that their web page isn't working. Because if you guys have logged on, you're going to see you probably don't have anything here as far as pages go. And what this first spot is, if you see the first tab, is landing pages. So in other words, you can have two different types of pages that are on your website. You can have pages that show up that you've developed here, or you can have hidden pages that are on your website that maybe you're running in a landing page for a home that you just listed and you ran an ad and you want people to be directed just to that page. So that's the difference between the landing pages and the other pages. Then you have agent site pages. Agent site pages are pages that either are automatically done for you by Keller Williams, which is editable, or pages that you've created from scratch. And if we have enough time, I'll show you how to do the pages from scratch, okay? We also talked about the guides that are available for your customers and clients. You have the guide builder. So this is where we have the ability to edit those guides, and we're going to look at that as well. And then finally, after you've created your site, you have site and app settings, which kind of gets you into everything that you've done to your site and gives you a quick and down and dirty way to edit that. Okay, so we'll get back to that in a minute here. So I'm going to restart here and I'm going to click on consumer right from the beginning. And if you have never, ever set up your website, the easiest way to do it is to click on the very bottom. There's this little blue spot that says configure your site. You'll get a pop-up that says, I want to use the new KW agent sites. And that's the one that you want to choose. And you click submit. And this takes you through what's called a Kelly guide. The Kelly guide is kind of a from start to finish on how to set up the basic functionality of your website. So you go ahead and click get started. And it says, yes, you've got to have a logo. Yes, you've got to comply with the board. Yes, you agree to follow any of the rules and the laws, blah, blah, blah. So click acknowledge and continue. And it starts you with the beginning of your website. The first thing that you have to do is create your subdomain. So a lot of times this will already be filled out for you as a suggestion. And it's probably like cheryl.burnett.kw.com. The important thing is that you have to confirm that domain for everything to work, okay? So keep that in mind. You've got to confirm that domain for everything to work. The next spot is your marketing profile information. This is all your basic information on your website, on your bio, and everything else. Okay. So you have the ability to edit that when needed. Now, a shortcut to actually get into that so that it defaults is I'm going to get out of the guide here. From command, under your name, under settings, remember that part, under settings, and under connect settings, you have marketing profile. So this is what is used for everything that you do, your Facebook ads. Cheryl, are you talking to me or are you just talking to somebody there? Okay, okay. I was like, you're muted. Okay. Your Facebook ads, your website, any postcards that you're sending out. If this information is filled out, it will automatically pre-populate to everything. So you do have to have a photo. You do have to have, sometimes they require a team logo. These pictures are a little bit finicky. I'm not going to lie to you. They're a little bit finicky to mess with. So sometimes you have to try some different sizes and things like that with your photos. Your details, anything that's got a red asterisk has to be filled out. However, I suggest you fill out the most that you can on here. Your bio, your phone numbers, your email, your website, and hopefully this is your domain name that you own, okay? Market Center logos. Remember, you can get those right from the KWL One Stop. Your brokerage information. A legal footer. And you can grab this from a website. You can copy this from here. Basically, if you see on a lot of the Keller Williams sites or even other agent sites, each office is independently owned and operated. In Michigan, we don't have a requirement for what has to be there. Other states do. Other states also have a legal footer link. So it's nothing that you have to have, and you don't have to have an image either. Social media. Make sure that your social media links are there. You need to have those there. And for business, I would recommend that you are using your business pages, okay? If you use Facebook Pixels and ads or Google Analytics, that's where you can put your information there. And your KW app link. Make sure you've got that there. Now, if you're making any changes to this, or doing anything to it, I always want to double check it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit save. It says your profile was successfully saved. And the biggest thing for your website is this stuff on the right. Use my information to brand my agent site. This has to be toggled to the right. Very, very important. And sometimes for whatever reason, if you make changes here and I save it, that automatically toggles to the left, and you've got to kind of toggle it to the right and click save again. So this is the information that pre-populates your website. So let me get back into the Kelly Guide. I'm going to go back to consumer. And I'm going to configure my site, and it asks you this every time you do this. If you needed to go through the whole guide anyways. And get started. And I've got my subdomain there. Marketing information, most of it's going to pre-populate. But once again, you need to go through and double check and make sure everything is accurate here. Okay. Market Center brokerage number. We don't have the legal footers. We don't have to worry about that. Profile pictures generally will come in, but maybe you wanted something different for your website. You could obviously change your picture, your logos, things like that. Make sure your Facebook and your Twitter and everything, those links are correct. Make sure your app link is correct. And then you click save and continue to go to the next step.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Absolutely.
So at the top where it says see your configured agent site here, and now it says, so my email was movewithchristina.com. now it says movewithchristina.kw.com.
So you actually have a domain that says movewithchristina.com, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so your subdomain with Keller Williams
Is going to be the
it's going to
.kw.
be .kw.com. And the idea, what we'll do, Christina, is we're going to forward movewithchristina.com to
Okay.
movewithchristina.kw.com.
Okay.
It's
So
the
do I
same
leave
thing.
that there? Yeah.
Yeah, if it says movewithchristina.kw.com, go ahead and click confirm the domain,
Okay.
and you are good to go on that. It's
I
kind of
started
similar on
half
my
of this.
website when I type in searchforhouses.com. If you see it on the top there.
I know I'm doing this from my phone and the other one's on the laptop.
Oh, that's
so.
okay. Well, that's why I'm recording it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You're gonna get stuck. That's not a problem. And then it goes to searchforhouses.kw.com.
Okay.
Another thing too that I probably should have mentioned in the beginning, guys, is remember anything that you're working on, it's always best to be on a laptop if you're trying to work on this, and make sure you're in Google Chrome with all of the systems. Just want to say that.
If I'm in Firefox, is that a problem?
Some stuff might not work, Christina. So
Okay.
you may try to save things and start banging your head on the walls with that. So I would say you definitely want to try to be in Google Chrome with Command and all of your systems.
And then one more question. I'm
Sure.
sorry. I know
No, that's what we're here for.
But when it says, okay, before you begin, do we want the KW agent site or the place setter? Because I know mine was old and I never figured.
You want the KW, the one on the top, the new KW site.
Sorry, I'm writing this down. Thank you.
No problem. All right, so I did that. I did the marketing information. If you forget something, it's going to give you an error and it'll make you go back and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and save and continue. And it takes me to the next page. The next page says, what theme do you want? Currently, there's two themes that are available, dark red, or the red theme and the dark theme. And it changes it on different pages. It's tough to see on this home page here. But if I click on the red theme, you see there's a red KW there. And if I click on the dark theme, it's just like a black KW there. And I know some other spots change as well. Okay. Then you've got homepage text. So this shows up here above your search bar. So do you have a, I don't want to say a logo, a slogan? You have a slogan that you use, you know? Who was it? Somebody in the market center just making home happen or something like that. They put on Facebook. I don't remember who that was, but it was really catchy. But if you've got a slogan, that's where you're going to put that there. And then you have the option to upload what they call homepage hero images. On yours, you're going to see there's 5 images that are already defaulted there that are just the basic images that Keller Williams gives you. However, you can customize these, make it local. Okay, I've got 5 pictures there. You know, I've got one of the golf courses. I've got the lake here. And no, this is not Jobby Nooner. This is just a picture of the lake. Somebody else asked me that before. Jimmy John's. Oh, remember when we could do that, folks? Whew. I missed that, that's for sure. Another picture there. Farmer's market. You get the idea. Customize this to you. Okay, customize it to the area. So once I've got my hero images that I want there, then I'm going to save and continue. And now you've got your site's content. And we start with, it says below is the KW default navigation, but you can customize it the way that you want. So the navigation starts with the company profile, about me, the contact us. And this, if I wanted to move things around from this part, I can do that as well. Remember, we have the ability to add different things and remove it outside of the Kelly Guide. You've got search engine optimization. So what's the page title as far as this page goes, which is your About Us. You can do SEO. I'm not going to get into any of that. And then you've got content. So company profile. Here's the headline title. What do you want to put there? Here's a description. Here's pictures. You can change all of this out. The nice thing about this is, like on my site, if you notice here, I haven't edited any of this. Okay, but I don't want all that blank stuff to show up on my site. So you can actually make sure it doesn't show up until you're done with it. We'll show you that, okay? But we're just going through the Kelly guide, so I've got to do that. Then I can either skip it or I can continue. And here's the About Me page. Do I want to rename that? What do I want the slug to be? So this slug/About Me is going to be searchforhouses.kw.com/About Me. If for some reason you needed something else there, you could rename it. Okay. SEO again, and then get into your content, your page title, your bio, anything that you want to change there. So it's going through the basic pages that you have available in the website for you to edit. And you can just go through them and you save and continue. And then your site is actually set up. So once you get to this point, the easiest way is just to click the X and you're out of the Kelly guide. So I would suggest only using the Kelly guide if you're lost or if you're first setting up your site. And that's always down here right on configure your site. Other than that, now that I've configured my site, everything is under my site and app settings. Okay. So now once I've got my site up and running and I've X'd out of it and I want to make sure that it's working, the first thing that I'm going to test is that actual subdomain that I put in there. So in my case, it's searchforhouses.kw.com. I want to make sure that that's working. Now, agents will make the mistake, and let me log off. So this is what it'll look like. I'm going to sign out as my consumer. Agents will make the mistake and they'll see the Keller Williams pop up and think that it works. Remember, you know your site is working if you've got your name here and your information down here. Okay. Otherwise, what it's going to show up is going to look like this, which looks really close to your site. But if you notice, my information is not down there. So that's the difference to make sure. If it does not show up as your site, most likely the issue is you have to get back into your settings. You have to get back into your Connect settings and check the marketing profile to make sure that this is toggled to the right. This is like 99% of the problems when it doesn't show up. Now, for those of you that, like Christina, you have your domain name, that's another step. So that's why I want you to check the Keller Williams subdomain name, make sure that's working first before we connect your actual domain name, okay? So let me get back into our site here. And we were at site and app settings. So a couple of things that you have here. Here's another toggle. Make sure that that's the right, is you've got general settings. And see, this is kind of the shortcuts into all the different spots that we did through the Kelly guide. Maybe I want to change out some of these pictures that are on the main page, the hero pages. Maybe I want to change my slogan here. That's where you can do it there, okay? Download app landing page. There's always a page for your app to download. Maybe you want to change what it says there. Virtual tours on your listing. I have one pending listing right now, and I've been dying to try this out, but you have to have an active tour. So if anybody out there has an active listing and you get your website set up, push these buttons and let me know what happens, okay? I think it shows up right on your main page, okay? URLs. These are the URLs to your site. So if you forgot, what the heck was my subdomain to check it? That's right there, search4houses.kw.com. What is my app URL? That's right there as well. Now remember, the app is integrated with everything, and this URL is actually very handy because you can use this on some of your promotions. Everybody excuse me, has this, and I want to show you what that page looks like. So if I go to copy, and I'm just going to paste it and go in a new browser window, you can essentially use that link for advertising on social media, tells you about the app, the key features. It's a nice page that's already built out for you to be able to get to people to say, hey, why don't you check out my new app? And all they really have to do is enter their phone number here. A link goes to their phone, and they download the app, and it's branded to you. Okay. So keep that in mind, that if you're doing anything, your social media, you've got this page that's available already to you. All right, we doing good so far? Oh, Cheryl crossed her arms. That's a sign of negativity. Okay. All right. Featured listings. Now, the featured listings were the ones that show up along the bottom here. The drawback to the featured listings right now is you do have to manually put them in. So it won't automatically let you say, I want every new listing that comes up in my office this week. You actually have to pick them, which kind of sucks. Hopefully that's going to get changed eventually by a way of a search. I don't know why it took me out of there. I got two commands open. No. Okay, here we go. So what's the headline of the featured listings? Hot new listings. Okay, so I've got hot new listings there. Now, is everybody, Doug's going to probably kill me for saying things like this, but does everybody see, like on Zillow and Trulia and all of that you have coming soon listings? And obviously these places are taking advantage of that. So let's say maybe I wanted to change this to coming soon. Where would I find those? I could get into the MLS. My eyes aren't working today, guys. Here we go. I would suggest highly that if you do this, you do it from our market center only, but I'm just going to show you as an example, okay? So I'm going to search residential, and let's say I wanted to do, let's say we're going to do Shelby Township, and let's see if there's any coming soon residential properties in Shelby Township by using our status of coming soon. Nothing there. Let me open up the search and let's just do Macomb County. 14 listings that are coming soon in Macomb County. Now this works some of the time, sometimes it doesn't. So I've got to write down here an address of these so that I know where it is. Because, all right, so let's say I wanted Garland, 7721 Garland. Okay, so I picked the houses that I want on there. I'm going to go back to command, and I'm going to select listings. And you've got to do it this way. If you look on the right, it says only my listings. Change that to all listings. And if it populates in a perfect world, if I put 7721 Garland, I'm going to show you things that are close. There it is right there. I'm going to select that listing, click done, and now that property shows up on my front page. Now remember, if you do this, what I suggest you do is when this goes pending, it's going to say under contract. When it goes active, it's going to say active. That's going to say that on your website. So if you do decide that you're going to start using the coming soon, put your own listings on there, put listings from the market center, which is what I try to do. Schedule that for the week. So Sunday night or Monday morning, schedule yourself 15 minutes to come in and update these. I know it's a pain, but you just don't want to look like a fool if this stuff all looks like it's all sold. Let me see if it pre-populated for us. I got to refresh. Oops, I clicked too fast. Slow down, slow down. Here were a couple of the ones that were favorited, and that's where they're all going to show up on there. So it's a pretty cool feature, but like I say, you do definitely have to maintain it, okay? And I'm just going to delete that. All right, then you have theme. So now if this is back to the red theme or the dark theme, if you want to change that up, you can do that there as well. And then you have site pages. Now this spot is a little scary for a lot of people. So remember I had those few pages that were out there that I didn't edit yet. They weren't complete, okay? The company profile, the about me, things like that. There was a couple that showed up that weren't complete yet. What I can do is if there's a page that's not complete on there yet, I can actually delete it. So if I wanted to delete the Meet the Team, I'm going to click on it, click on the three dots. I can rename it, by the way. Click on the three dots and just delete it from there. The scary part is people think when you delete it from the site pages, you're getting rid of it. And you're not. All you're doing is deleting it so it doesn't show up on your website. Does that make sense? Okay. So if I did that, Meet the Team, let's just do it to show you. I'm going to delete it, click to confirm. And then when I go back to my website, the Meet the Team doesn't show up there. So like I say, a couple of those about me, about the company, things like that, if you don't get in there and delete those. Now, when I want to go and edit it back, I just have to add the page that I want back on my website. And I will scroll down, and here's the Meet the Team. I have to do the page title. Meet Team, a new slug, which is the end part. See how it put it there? And then if you have SEO, you can put that here. And I can save that. Now, if I wanted to rearrange things, I just drag them to where I want. Following me? So if I wanted it to show up somewhere else, I just drag it to where I want it to show up on the website. When I go back to the website, refresh it. There's the Meet the Affordable Team that I've changed. If I wanted that to show up a little bit higher, save it. Same thing. Refresh it. And it shows up there. So you get the idea that you can edit it and move different things around. Now, when I say that there's adding pages here, you can add or take out the pages that Keller Williams provided to you, but you can also add pages that you yourself have created. So these different pages that I've created here, I'm able to add change them and things like that. Okay, so that's where the add the page comes. Any questions on that? We doing good so far? Thumbs up. All right. Okay, agent site pages. So remember, landing pages don't show up on your website. They're kind of attached to your website, but they're hidden in the background. You're using that for if I wanted to create a listing landing page, or here's another good one. Maybe I'm having a client event and I wanted to create a page for that for people to register. I don't necessarily want that on my website, but I still want it all to kind of be connected, okay? That's an example for that. So to actually create a page, all you have to do is click, I wish they'd say create a new page, but they call it create a new site. So you click create a new site, and where would you like the page to be displayed? On your agent site, being an agent site page, or as a standalone page, meaning as a landing page, okay? Now, the thing with landing pages is they all have URLs. So let me see if I've got one here. Let me see. So let me get back to the landing pages. These all have URLs. So basically, this is the link that I would use in my advertising or my promotions to direct the people to that. Okay, does that make sense? Cool, cool, cool. All right, so back to creating a new page. So we're going to create a new site on my site, so on my agent page, and then we'll click create page. This takes some getting used to. So you really have to do a few of these to understand how that works. So you always start with either widgets or content blocks. Content blocks are images and text. Widgets are things that you can adjust that it pre-fills information. This widgets and these content blocks are exactly the same whether you're creating a page for your website or a separate landing page. So you do have to name it. I'm just going to name this test. And then you've got a couple of options as you're going through and editing this stuff, which I really like. On the left, it's how this page is going to show up on a desktop, on a tablet, or on a phone. So as you are creating these pages, you want to click back on these and say, hey, is this lining up right? Does this look good? Okay, so let's start with our pre-populated widgets and show you what these are all about. And you can do a lot more, but we just want to get the basics for you, okay? So let's see, I want to start this page with a branded header. So I'm going to drag my header over here. And boom, it pre-populates my information there, okay? Let's see. I would like to do a download my app on here. So let's go ahead and drag that. And that's there for us. So you see what these widgets do. Now let's get into some that you would actually have to configure, meaning they're not pre-populated. One example would be a listing. So if you were doing a page, maybe this was a landing page, and you wanted to actually bring in a listing, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to do a listing. And this is where everybody trips out. They see this listing widget and they're like, wait, this is Austin, Texas. What the heck is this? Okay. We don't want anything from Austin, Texas. Well, this is just the template, if that makes sense. Now to actually put what I want there, I'm going to do configure widgets. And if you notice, any of the widgets that I put there will show up under this configure widgets with a checkbox if it's already configured. So remember the branded header, and the download my app are pre-configured for you. The listing is not. So let's go ahead and click on that just to show you the functionality. And I'm going to browse listings. And once again, you can search by property address. I don't know if it pulls up pendings or not, but I'm going to try to one of the listings I have. Let me try. Oh, it does. It's under contract. And all I did was put the address in there, found the listing that I want, and I'm going to click select. And now it's going to say, what image do you want to show up there? All these images are right from the MLS. So what do I want my first image to be? Or I can upload a different image if I wanted to. So I'm going to click on that one, save and apply. And there's the actual listing. There's all the information already pre-done for you. How cool is that? Okay, just to kind of show you how that actual widget looks. Here's the other pictures. All that's done for you automatically with these widgets, okay?
Al, can you repeat what you did? So
yep,
it will
absolutely.
Stick. Thank you.
So let's go back. I'm going to get in here, and I think I can, let me X out of the widgets. I'm going to go on to this actual widget, and I think, where's my delete button? Up right here. Let me click on this, click on this. Come on. Not letting me click. I need to click. Wanted to redo it for us. Always happens when you're teaching, right? Oh, it wouldn't let me delete it here. Hang on. Something I think I jammed up on us here. Let's see. Let me try and undo. I will just drag in another one. So we will just do another one here. All right. So what I did was I brought in the listing template. It defaults to just this one here. After I bring in any templates that I want with these widgets, then at that point, I have to configure any of the widgets. So on the bottom, I'm going to click Configure Widgets. And it's going to tell me which ones are not configured yet. So the one that I just added was a listing. I'm going to browse the listings, find the one that I want. I just grabbed one here, guys. Select the picture that I want for the middle. Save and apply. And that's there. Now you can go further if you want. And on the right, it shows you that there's 2 of 4 steps to this. I can click on the right step, add additional listings, download my app. This is all where you can configure the stuff that's pre-populated for you. So I had 4 widgets, 4 things that I can go ahead and populate. I go ahead and click Save Changes. Once I'm done with everything, and that's going to actually publish the page. So now I want to show you a couple of other things that you can actually add to this. So here's the test page that was published. Now I know I don't like it and I want to add some other things. It puts it here at the top for us. So what I want to do is, you know what, let me get into this, and I think I want to get in here. I don't like it. I just want to delete it so that I don't have it anymore. I can go ahead and delete it. And now it's gone. So I never have to worry about the ones that I'm testing and things like that. Okay. So now let's go ahead and get back in, and I want to show you the last things that you can do with these web pages. So I want to create a new site on my agent site, create the page. I always like to have my, for the widgets that are here, I always like to have the stuff at the top, you know, maybe the agent profile at the top. And I definitely like to have the download my app at the bottom of these as well. So I'm going to drag the download my app, maybe put the agent profile. Sometimes there's a header. Okay. Company profile, different things that you can put there, but you can also do custom things as well. So let me rename this again. I forgot that part. Okay. So now you have content blocks where I can add images. And I would basically find where the image is to do that. And I can add text blocks. Now the text blocks are not only text that you can put in there, but they're also HTML. If you wanted to put any other type of code in there, that's where you would put that. And what I mean by code is that you can put a variety of things in there that will create pages like this automatically. I didn't spend the time to do this, guys. Okay. I took it off the internet and went from there. So an example would be, if I'm going to Google, maybe I want mortgage calculator HTML. I would just search for something. Free mortgage calculator widget. Let's try this one here. Okay, this is the actual HTML code. And really, it's already pre-done for me. So I'm just going to grab it. I'm going to copy it. And then in Command, I'm going to paste it here. And when it finally reads it, if it's a good code, then the mortgage calculator is going to pop up there as well. So if you start to use codes, that's where you actually can do that different kind of stuff. Okay, does that make sense? That's what you really have to look for. How are we doing so far? Thumbs up, thumbs up. So now let's say that I am going, and I think that that's a bad code, to be honest with you. Let me see if I've got another one here. I'm going to delete it. That's where you delete the different widgets that didn't show up the one time for us here. Okay. I know where there's a code. Okay, you guys pay attention to this one here. You got to modify them a little bit. But on the one stop, I believe it's under / pimp codes. Yeah, pimp codes. And there is the actual codes for a simple mortgage calculator, circle picks, and this. So I'm going to see if this code here actually works for us. I'm going to copy that, go back into Command. I am going to go to my content block, drag the text over. Oops, get rid of this text. Paste it. And that worked. That code worked. There's my mortgage calculator right there. Just from stealing the code, okay? So let's say I am done with this, then I'm going to go ahead and I've created my page, and this is where everybody screws up and says it doesn't show up on my website. So I've saved my changes. It says, would you like to publish your page? I'm going to say yes. And it brings you back automatically to this page. So where was it that I created? Under the site pages. This is what goes on your actual website. So I need to add that as one of the drop downs right here. I need to add that as a drop down. So I'm going to add the page. I'm going to look for it. Here it is, test page. I'm going to click continue. I'm going to call this mortgage calculator. I will call this mortgage calculator. Click save. It shows up on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and just refresh. Always refresh because you never see your changes if you don't refresh. Click on mortgage calculator. And of course, you can work on centering it, but you guys get the idea. This is what I wanted to show you. Okay. There's my download my app page. There's my mortgage calculator that I put there. And it's good to go. Okay. All right. What kind of questions do you guys have for me? Just I wanted to do a basic overview of what you've got to do with the pages. It's just about getting in there and working with your website and doing it. That's what you have to do with this stuff, you know. Tool around with all of these spots here, you know, your URLs, your landing pages. Landing pages show up here. That's anything that doesn't show up on your website. Agent site pages. These are the ones that I just created, okay? These are the pages I created. Can delete them. Some of them will let you get back in here and edit them. It's a little bit finicky, but you get the idea, okay? Let me delete that before I forget. Now, as far as the web page goes, now we're good. The last thing that I want to show you is your guide builder. So this is the guide builder that shows up for your clients. And this is your buying and your selling guide. This is what you can edit so that based on how you do business, so you can keep your clients informed. So when I click on it, you're going to see here, it automatically is pre-populated. First, there's an introduction. Congrats on starting the process. You can edit it on the right-hand side. Then you have your guide. And from your guide, you have the ability to edit all of this. You can add a step. I can move steps around. See, a lot of this is drag and drop, guys. I can click on them. I can edit them. I can change the pictures out, customize this to you. This is what you want to do. Understand that the website is a consumer experience. So you have to make this something that they want to go back to. All right. I think we did pretty good, and I did it in record time. So how about some feedback from you guys? What are you looking at? What are you stuck with? What's your thoughts?
I'm stuck with something that's not on here though. I'm still trying to forward mine from, what is it, the GoDaddy?
Yeah, and if you've got a minute after we answer the questions, I'll stop the recording, Christina, and I will show you exactly how to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Cheryl, are you going to build it out?
Yeah, one of these days I'll get to it.
Well, everything is linked together, okay?
Yeah.
So the neat thing about it is as your consumer is doing things, and I switched to a team account, so my account is a little jacked up, but I want to show you guys where it kind of looks, where you see this stuff, where it's going to make sense for you. So the first thing that I'm going to see on my contacts, come on, contacts. It's got my Saturday slowness, I'm telling you. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to see on my contacts is there's a little green checkbox. This means that this client actually has registered for my website and or my app. Okay. That's the first thing. The second thing is coming this year, this checkbox may show up as solid. That means Al Lafort is actually on the website or the app right now doing some stuff. All right. Now let me show you where you're actually going to see it. It's not working on my name, but let me get into a past client of mine. Like just switch some stuff. W. Gotta remember how to spell her name. Nope, how about, here we go. So Steve, past client that I just sold a house to. On the right, on his timeline, it shows you everything that's going on with this client. Emails that I sent back to him. Properties that he shared with me. But if I go further, listings that he viewed. So anything that he saved, look here, remember how we can save properties as a consumer? Look, that all shows up here. And then I don't know if this is gonna work because this is kind of an old client, but essentially if I click on it, if the property is still available, it should take me to that actual listing so I can see, oh, it did. So I can see what they're looking at. So this is where it makes sense, Cheryl, is being able to get the consumer onto this so that you can start seeing these type of interactions. Would I replace this with the MLS? No, I mean, I'm still going to use the MLS searches, okay? But if you
I
think
don't
about-
disagree. I just didn't until I'm done with the teaching.
That's it. That's it.
I'm almost done. Almost done.
What I do with my clients is I still put them on an MLS search. And I also introduce them to the app and to the website. And the reason that I do that is I explain it like this. I'm like, Naharia, you're looking in Macomb Township and you're looking for a 3-bedroom for 350,000. And I'm going to put in what you're looking for in the criteria right into the multiple listing service. You're going to get emailed instantly. Anything hits the market. But, you know, I have sold thousands of houses. And what I found is that sometimes, even though you're looking in Macomb Township, something will pop up just this side of the border that maybe you see online. So I want you to utilize my website and my app for those situations. I'm not going to know that you're looking at that because I want to send you the things that you're looking for. But hey, you may be driving down the road, driving down Van Dyke, and you're like, oh, look at this is a cute sub. What's this area going for? And you can pull it up on my app, or you can pull it up right on the website and go from there. So that's how I'm utilizing it at this point. Eventually, you're going to have a direct link into the MLS and our MLS Collab Center and everything else that we use as far as getting our clients. There's going to be no need to do any of that. It's going to be instantaneous. But for right now, that's how I'm utilizing it. Okay.
So Al, I have one question. It's not directly from what you taught today, but it's sort of links to it. So in my real
there's
source-
6 of us, so we're going to tell you yay or nay if we're going to talk to it. Go ahead. No, I'm just teasing.
Okay, so in my real source, when I find a property and I want to email it to the person, but I don't have an email. But when it says share, where the button on the top upper left part of the page, it says share. When I click on it, it says text message only. It doesn't show me an option to share it through
We'll look
email.
at that. Yeah, we'll look at that at the end. So I'm going to go
Okay.
ahead and stop this recording here. Oh, guys, you guys were chatting me and I didn't even say, yeah. Oh, Rachel said, did you just say pimp code? Yes, I did. Okay. I should pay attention to the chats here. All right, so let me stop the recording.